So a little professional introduction to myself, just to for you all to get to know me a little bit. I'm a nutritionist and a self-image coach. I've been working with Reea for the last few years as her client, doing career coaching, business coaching, and fortnightly readings, which have helped tremendously in some of the decision makings I've had to make throughout the last few years of my life. And introducing Reea. Reea is a psychic empath, psychotherapist, mystic, and channel for the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and harmony, Goddess Maat. Following a very dark night of the soul experience with a soulmate, Reea began connecting to a discarnate being who she later learnt had been around her since birth and was waiting for the right time. It took 9 years to establish the connection to the point where Reea could channel Maat's wisdom. Interestingly, in Greece, Maat was known as Reea. Their connection comes as a result of Reea having been Maat's devotee and a priestess in Maat's temple in Egypt and sharing many lifetimes together. Reea is a counsellor, psychotherapist, life and relationship coach, clinical hypnotherapist, career counsellor, and past life regression counsellor. She now uses her gifts to empower women emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually to change their lives, shedding personal stories of limitation, healing negative emotions, transforming their relationships, awakening to their spiritual gifts, and seeing their place in the world from a whole new light. So we can start. So Reea, I think you wanted to start by doing a little...
Yeah, thanks, Ingrid. That was lovely. Very beautifully done. You're a star. So I think, has everyone here had readings with me before? I see some familiar faces. Put your hand up if you haven't. 3 of you. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay. So there were a lot more people booked in. There were 20 people booked in, but I knew this was going to happen. Unfortunately, when you offer things for free, people get tied up and things happen and all that. And I knew that was going to happen. So, but I'm really happy to have you 4 beautiful ladies here with us tonight. And I haven't done this before, so that's why Ingrid's helping me out. And I'm so grateful to have Ingrid helping me out here. She's the tech wizard. I work on Zoom all the time. And Skype and online, and I'm quite familiar with it. I've never done a group thing like this. Hang on, let me turn my phone down so we don't get trouble. So the group thing is new to me, as it is to you. But I thought, you know, during this time of COVID, everybody's in lockdown. What a great idea to be able to get together with other people who are like-minded, who believe the same things we believe. And, you know, I'm always looking for ways that I can be of service. If you've been playing on my Facebook page, you know that I like to give readings away and do all that sort of stuff. So I just thought this might be a great way to do it. And if it works tonight, I'm going to be doing more of this. So that'll be something to look forward to, maybe once a month. So we're going to start off tonight. I just want you to all understand that no one is ever a passive recipient of any reading that you're having. So you can actually prevent someone from reading your energy. You can block it. And usually the way that people block it is, there's a couple of things that block it. One is if you're in grief and you've just lost someone really recently and your energy is really shut down, that stops a reading. I can usually tell that when I tune into someone's vibration. I can't kind of feel anything because their energy is just completely shut down. And likewise, if they're really, really, really depressed, that sometimes does the same thing. Also, when you're very skeptical, if you're highly skeptical, that can stop a reading too, because what you're actually saying is, no, I don't believe in this shit. Stop reading me. And so you're kind of communicating to your own higher guidance that you don't believe in it. So naturally, because we create our own reality, you get everything that you believe you will get, and that happens. I'm a huge skeptic, as Ingrid was saying when she was reading out my bio. It took me a long time to get here. It didn't happen overnight because I am hugely skeptical. So I've got no problem with being skeptical. But I often say to people when I'm doing readings with them, just leave your skepticism to one side for a little while. Wait till after you've had the reading and then be skeptical. So when I'm doing a reading, what I always have to do is I have to close my eyes and I have to go into a little bit of a light trance state in order to bring Goddess Maat in and kind of tune into her frequency. And she's there all the time on the right side of my body. So it happens pretty quick, and I can feel her actually coming in. It's very tactile. And while I'm doing that, I always ask that clients do the same thing. So I'm going to close my eyes, and I want you all to close your eyes too. And just take your awareness to your breath, and just take a couple of nice, big, deep cleansing breaths. And just relax your shoulders and just try and relax your body. And if you're feeling nervous because you're doing something that you've never done before, and it would be completely normal to be nervous because we've not been on Zoom together before, just try and relax. And just silently, while I tune into my guide, I want you to just silently give your permission to your higher self and your guides to make use of us today and to send any messages through so that we can help answer your questions. So I'm just going to go quiet for a minute, so just bear with me. Okay, and there is the Goddess Maat. So I'm a conscious channel. That means that I can feel her coming in, and what happens is she uses my apparatus. So she's using everything that I know to answer the question. So if you ask me a question and it's a question that is easy for me to answer, I'll be more present and conscious. The more difficult the question that you ask me, the more I'll have to step back and let Maat come in more fully. So when you see me with my eyes closed, that usually means that I'm getting the hell out of the way and letting Maat's energy come through more, just so that I can tune into that higher guidance for you. So happy to answer your questions. Just as Ingrid was saying, you know, we want to be careful that we observe other people's privacy, and never, Maat won't answer questions that are intrusive into other people's lives. So just be aware of that, but happy to answer any of your questions that you might have tonight. So just type them in the chat thing so that Ingrid can just check them. And then if she okays for you to ask your question, she'll call on you. We'll mute everybody else when she calls on you, and you and I will just have a little conversation and I'll be able to answer your question. Who's got questions? I hope you all have. Yes, okay.
I've got questions from people that couldn't make it tonight as well, Reea.
Okay, all right, so let's start off with one of those while you get all the other ones organised. Throw a question at me.
So regarding the pandemic,
yes,
is there anything spiritual that we could be doing during this time?
Okay, all right.
Like,
I'm going to let Maat answer that one.
Is there a spiritual reason for it?
Yeah, okay. It's most important for all of you at this very interesting time of your adventure on planet Earth that you understand that great transformation and change can only happen on your planet through huge catalysts and challenges. If you look back over the course of the history of your planet, even in the 20th century, which most of you will be familiar with, you'll understand that every huge global catastrophe that happened on your planet, let's pick one, let's say World War II. As a result of World War II, there were massive changes in all countries across the globe, changes for the better for mankind. So as a response to what happened in World War II, what happened to the Jews, the whole Hitler thing, invading people's countries, blowing each other up, atom bombs, lots of changes were made. And those changes were all necessary to help shift the consciousness of the planet and change and transform everyone to get you to the point where you are now. So huge global, what you see as global catastrophes are unfortunately a necessary part of spirit pushing you and pushing the whole planet to step up. So while it may seem that there are lots of negative effects from such catastrophe, In our perspective, it's a good thing. It is unfortunate that the blueprint of third dimension means that you live in a dimension of duality. And to you, good seems good and bad seems bad. But from Spirit's perspective, there is no good and bad. You are eternal, immortal beings who live on and on through many lifetimes. And you would be astounded at your own gifts and powers that you all have. You do not see yourself the way we see you. You are all beautiful aspects of the goddess consciousness, creating your own reality. And in the case of COVID, you are collectively creating a global transformation, a shift in consciousness. It will be painful. There is always some pain when it comes to transformation. But in the end, the world will be a better place. Your world will be a better place. You can all see that many institutions are breaking down. Things are changing. People are speaking out. There is a lot of focus of attention right now on what is not working on the planet. The COVID crisis is not just about a virus. It's about your economy. It's about how you treat each other. It's about governments and politics and power and Hollywood and pedophilia and all of those things that are coming to people's awareness. Now, for each one of you individually, the very best thing that you can do is not give your attention to that which you do not want to see. Remember, you are collectively creating the consciousness of the planet together. If you add your energy to fear, to anger, to upset, then that is what you are creating more of. If you wish to transform your planet into a more loving, gentle, peaceful, egalitarian, equal environment for everyone on the planet, that's where you should focus your attention. So be in your compassion, be in your love. Remember that it is wrong to judge other people's opinions. Everyone has different opinions about COVID. That's one of the things that has happened as part of this shift. It's bringing out everybody's deeply held opinions about things. And when we hold an opinion, we say, we are right and you are all wrong. And that's not the case from your higher perspective. There is no right and wrong. That's hard for you to understand. But when you move forward into the transformation of consciousness that is happening on the planet, you will have a much better idea of oneness and unity. It's very difficult for you to understand those concepts at this time of your evolution, but that's where you're headed. You are all an aspect of the God-Goddess consciousness. You are the goddess manifesting herself in third dimensional earth so that she can experience all of the aspects and potentials of who she is. And you can call that goddess anything you like. You can call it the matrix or the universe or by any name, it doesn't matter. But we're all talking about the same thing. So focus your awareness on what you want to see more of. Know that you are quite safe. And even if the worst thing were to happen on the planet, and that is that you lose someone you love, that's often worse than you losing yourself. If you lose someone you love, we understand that is devastating. There can be nothing more painful on the planet, but that is the blueprint of planet Earth. You know, when you come in, that everything on the planet, including everything in nature, is always growing and changing and transforming. And at the end of a plant or a tree's lifetime, it changes form. So nothing ever dies, and you don't die either. You simply change form. So when you lose someone you love, it's easier to imagine that they have transformed and gone to somewhere magical and beautiful, because that is the truth from our perspective. So take care of yourself. Try not to get into fear. Don't shout your opinions and shout down other people's opinions. Hold your own counsel. That is one of the teachings of the ancient Egyptian goddess Maat, an aspect of that which we are, was to hold your own counsel. And that means sometimes we keep our opinions and our ideas to ourselves, and we understand that there are many opinions and ideas out there, and that they are all equally valid to the person who holds them. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Do you have another question?
So this one will be from Karen. Karen, would you like me to read the question out for you, or do you
Yeah,
want to read it out?
Karen can ask it. Let Karen ask.
Okay. So I just wanted to know what sort of spiritual path, I'm not sure where I should go or what spiritual path I should follow. And I'm hoping for some guidance on that, and also how I can go about like tuning more into maybe my sixth sense, or like I want to be able to do similar things to what you're doing, but I just don't know how to open that like path up, I suppose.
So when you say you want to know which spiritual path you should be following, can you give me a little bit more information about that? I don't really understand that question.
Okay, so like, should I be, do I go into tarot card reading, or do I go into Reiki healing, or yeah, that sort of thing?
Just let me tune into your frequency. It's Karen. That's your name, isn't it?
Yes.
Somebody say their name on their screen wasn't their actual name? No?
I think she's changed it.
Oh,
okay. With a Y, yeah.
Good. All right. Okay, Karen, just let me tune into your frequency, Karen. I'm just going to feel into your energy. Yes. Okay. So you're a fairly well-developed soul, which means that you've had a significant number of other lifetimes before, which is why you're asking me these questions, right? Because you understand that you have gifts and you have a greater potential than the potential, what you've actually been expressing on the planet right now, right? So you're a very mature soul. So you've got lots to give. Mature souls often go towards being of service to others, and you have to hold that intention in your mind. When you go into doing work like this and you do it for the money or to be famous or some other very third dimensional reality reason, it generally doesn't work too well. I'm not picking that up with you, but I'm just telling everybody because, it's good to remember that. So focus on your intention on being of service. They're telling me that you've actually been very psychic in other lifetimes before, and so all of those skills are within you, and that's why it's coming out now. Remember that as a soul, and if we've had thousands of other lifetimes, we've had thousands of other gifts, and we've played with those gifts and expressed those gifts across a range of lifetimes. So we might not come into every life bringing in or expressing the same gifts. Like I was a dancer in many other lifetimes. I was a ballerina. And so when I was a little girl, I was highly attracted to ballet. I just wanted to do ballet. I just had this wow. But it's not something that I expressed in this lifetime beyond when I was a teenager. My life went in another direction. So you too have lots of gifts that you can use and that you can express. And so it's just a matter of choice. Remember, Spirit has given you free will to choose to do whatever you want to. There's no have-tos in this life. It's true that we all have a life plan or a blueprint for what we're going to achieve during this lifetime. But when you get to a certain level of maturity as a soul, your life plan is very flexible. So you can change it along the way. It's not carved in stone. So the soul adds lots of potentials in this life. Oh, you could choose to be a librarian, or could choose to be a nurse, or you could choose to be psychic, right? There's lots of things that you could do. So here you are, you're going, I've got this really deeply held belief that I'd really like to, use my psychic skills. So number one is you have to understand they're there, right? So it's just a matter of you trusting yourself. That's the biggest problem. Okay. So that was the biggest problem when I did it, right? Because I'm very down to earth. I'm very honest. I'm, very straight talker. I say it the way it is, And so I didn't want to, I know there's a lot of bullshit artists in this field. That there are plenty of fortune tellers out there and channelers and all sorts of people in all walks of life who aren't authentic. So I always wanted to be authentic. So it took me a long time to trust myself to go, am I really doing this? Am I really getting this information? Is this right? I asked myself that question for years. So always start off with tools to help you develop your psychic abilities. So you start off with the basic tools, and you should use them all. You should play with them all, and then you'll find that you gravitate more towards one than the other, depending on where you are in your development. So I used a pendulum, I used cards, you know, I did all sorts of things along the way, and you should do that too. They're telling me that you already got cards. You're already doing that. Yeah. Okay. So again, you can, you know, learn tarot. I was never attracted to tarot, but I used oracle cards. There's, you know, numerology, there's astrology. There are many ways that you can present these gifts. Now, what I'm feeling about you is that you are just intuitively psychic. So you might say that you're pulling in the information from everywhere, right? So think of yourself as being like tuning into the Wi-Fi and being able to sync into the Wi-Fi. It's really good to be able to think of ourselves in terms of technology, because it's actually what we are. So our bodies are kind of like the computer, and our soul is like the software, and spirit is like the Wi-Fi, right? So what you're doing is you're actually connecting like via Bluetooth, if you like, to that Wi-Fi and tuning in. And tuning into, actually what we're all tuning into is the field, the matrix. We call it the Akashic Records. We've got lots of names for it, but that's where all the information is. And so everyone has different gifts. So they're telling me you're very visual. So you already see things. So you see things with your third eye. So we always have one or two different ways that we get information. It was much slower for me because I am visual, so I'm clairvoyant, but most of my gifts are clairsentient. So I feel things, and then I have to translate those feelings into words. And of course, then it took me years, because I was like, what if I'm making this up? You know, wouldn't it be nice to just hear a voice, spirit talking to you like a telephone? But even Goddess Maat, when she communicates with me, that's not the way it is. She impresses, gives me a feeling. It's like giving me a download, and then I have to put that download into words. I have to, you know, describe the thing that I'm feeling, right? So we all have different gifts in that way. I would suggest that you do as many psychic classes or courses that you can. That's what I did. I went everywhere and did psychic classes with everyone. I even did Doreen Virtue's 5-day thing, paid thousands of dollars to go to Queensland and do her 5-day thing at the golf resort up there. And of course, now she doesn't believe in cards.
I didn't know that.
She's gone all fundamentalist Christian, and you know, doesn't believe in all that anymore. But it really is, remember what you're attracted to. That feeling that you have inside you of interest is your soul going, yeah, do that, right? So whatever you were interested in, people always say to me, you know, they'd like to follow their passion, but sometimes people don't feel passionate about something because, you know, they might be sick. There could be a lot going on in their life. They might not be very grounded in their own energy, so they don't feel passion. So interest is a lower level of passion. So interest, excitement, passion, curiosity, all of those things are your soul pushing you in that direction.
All right.
And so whatever interests you in the moment. Now, you don't have to stick with one thing. Like I said, sometimes the path isn't straight, and spirit will take you in different directions, and you'll think, why did I go down that path? And then years later you'll realize why. So does that help?
It does. I just have one other question that relates to the second part of my question, which was knowing like how to open my sort of sixth sense more. So I have a lot of out-of-body experiences, and when I leave my body, I can't, like, everything's black. I can't see anything. I know I've left my body, but I can't open my third eye, I suppose. And
so you mean when out-of-body experiences when you're asleep or when you're awake and you're meditating?
Sort of just in between. No, it's normally when I'm asleep. So if I like wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm sort of in that in between, and I can feel myself literally come out of my body. And then I'll either fall or I'll float, or, you know, if I think I want to go to Japan, I feel like my body's just zooming to Japan, but everything's black. I can't see anything. I don't know how to open that
Can
I don't know how to see
Can you
anything.
hear me? Reea,
Great question.
Reea, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, I just need to, I tried talking to you both earlier and I thought I was on mute, but someone was in the waiting room for a little while and I just wanted to pause and let them in, but they've gone now. So,
So can't you let people in when we're talking?
well, I just thought it might distract you both.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll only find out by doing it. If anyone comes into the waiting room, just let them in and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So Karen, to get back to your question, what a great question. Out-of-body experiences. And so you were lucid in the dream. So you knew you were dreaming and that you were out of your body. What you have to remember is when you leave the physical body, you're leaving third dimension and you're going into what we call the astral plane, or it's another dimension. And in that other dimension, your command is answered immediately. So what you have to do is you have to say, I'm out of my body now, in a very commanding tone, right?
Yeah.
I see clearly now. You get the point?
Okay.
So you have to command your own multidimensional self to do the thing that you want to do.
Okay.
So you could go, I command to meet my guides now.
Okay.
Right? And you might be taken on a journey. I've actually done that. So I came out of my body and I said, I want to go and see my guides. And they took me, I was flying, and they took me to this park, and I was over the top of this park. And I looked down and there was a little girl in the park. And I looked down and I was like, who is that? Is this little girl down there all by herself? And I sort of flew down in front of her, and she's only about 4. And I stopped and I realized it was me at 4. And I was able to have a conversation with her. I was like, hi, how are you? What's your name? How old are you? What do you like to do? It was like, she was my grandchild or something. And she chatted away to me, told me all these things that I had no conscious memory of. And I had to go and check with my mother later when I told her the story. She's like, yeah, you used to talk about all that all the time when you were 4. So I'm telling you that because it doesn't always turn out the way you want it to, but sometimes it turns out better.
Okay.
Because that was a really healing moment for me. So obviously my guides took the opportunity while I was in that state, and they had the chance to heal something very deeply inside me. But command.
Okay.
There's a guy named William Bulham, Bulham, or something like that. His books are the best on the market about out-of-body experience and lucid dreaming.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
Linda.
Hi. I've been a remedial massage therapist for, I'm actually Karen's mum, believe it or not.
Yes, you don't look it.
We look similar. Yeah, I've been a remedial massage therapist for over 30 years, and I've done a lot of spiritual growth from a very young age myself, like you. And a lot of things you were just saying to Karen about yourself and what you've been doing is what I've been doing. But I've always self-doubted myself from going further. But if I have a client on the massage table, I certainly, as I say, I see dead people and I'll let them through and I'll, pass messages on. But the massage side of things, I've known for a wee while. I felt the urge that it's like, I've done it enough. I've done it for a very long time. And I'm confusing myself with my next step, where I need to go. Again, tarot card is not for me either. Just, oracle cards, yes, but tarot card has never been one. I've done the numerology side, all that sort of thing. Done the channeling in the past as well, but we're from NZ. And so back there, I had a lovely group of people I could do the channeling with, but I haven't found anyone over here that I felt comfortable enough to actually do it, to build my confidence back up again. And like you said, I became so aware all those years ago of all the people out there who just in for the money. And like you, I'm a very genuine person. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Any
that's interesting about channeling, because most of the channelers in the world, or the really great channelers, are in America, and that's because it's the throat chakra of the planet, and so they're connected to that, and that's where all the speakings coming from. So in Australia, and I don't know what I do talk to a channeler in New Zealand, Tabash. Have you ever spoken to Tabash?
No, I haven't.
He's a wonderful channeler in New Zealand. I've got an appointment with him next month. He's kind of like my mentor. So just like as a counselor, I have supervisors, I have mentors that I speak to that are usually channelers that kind of have helped me along the path. So that's a really good thing to remember to do, right? That's the way you learn, by working with other people that do the same thing. Just let me tune into your energy. So you want to get out of, I just want to clarify your question. You want to get out of massage therapy. The time has come when you need to stop doing that, but you're not sure what else to do. Sorry?
Yes, that's right. I'm not sure where I'm going. I still want to be doing the healing, whatever, but I'm just confusing myself.
Yeah. And of course, the problem on the planet at the moment is that even though there are lots of qualified healers around, and so you're an energy healer, you've been doing all of that sort of stuff, you know, there are many ways that you heal, because there are many lifetimes, they're telling me, in which you were healing before, and so that's something that comes really naturally to you. And you probably understand this the way I do. When I got qualified in a lot of different modalities, I realized that they were just a dog and pony show, sort of like rah rah sis boom ba, and underneath it all, that wasn't what was actually healing. It was the energy that was healing, and all I was doing was distracting the person by putting on this act or this performance while the healing was going on. So, you know, we've got a very third dimensional way of looking at this on the planet now, that, you know, you have to have a qualification and you have to be supervised, and there's these rules and that rule and blah, blah, blah. That's going to change, but it's going to take a long time to change on the planet. So we're talking 10, 15 years, it'll be completely different, but then you'll be much older, as I will. So we may not still be working by then. That doesn't help. I'm just going to tune in and see if what's coming through for you today about what you need to do. So what I'm getting is, don't completely give up on your massage. You might pull back on that and only do a small amount of it, but it is still a stream of income for you that's really important. And they're telling me that you have your own unique way of healing. So there's something that you're doing when you're working with clients that's not even about the massage, but about the talking and the touching and the transfer of energy that is very unique to yourself.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
They always say that, yes.
And so you have to continue doing that, because that's you being guided, very much guided by your guides to do what you're meant to be doing. The difficult thing is in the making of money and the getting clients to do these sorts of things, because in third dimension, you have to be able to call yourself something that people understand or know about. So, you know, I keep having to use that word psychic, and I hate that word. And I put it out there every now and again, and you'll know, if you've been watching my Facebook page, you know, I take it down because I don't like it, because it's too connected with people who are disingenuous, you know. So the problem is that you've got to call yourself something that people understand when they're purchasing your services. And that's why the massage thing is probably still part of what you're going to be wanting to put out there. They're saying that the bigger issue here for you is the self-confidence. And you've got to understand that that is natural. Like, who doesn't self-doubt? Someone who is a narcissist, a psychopath, or a sociopath, right? Self-doubt is a normal, natural part of you using your critical thinking mind. And you need to know that it's like a wave. Some days you'll be feeling much more confident, and some days less confident. And you need to learn to modulate that a little bit better and regulate that better, because you actually do know what to do and you are doing it. It's just your confidence and the money problem that's the issue.
Yes.
But the money problem's changing on the planet now. We've seen it change drastically this year. Who'd have thought that would be where we are as far as the financial system is concerned? It's going to keep crashing. The financial institutions and systems going to completely change, as will be the way we earn our money. So they're saying to me that it's necessary for you to focus on those streams of income, bit from here, bit from there, bit from there. sort of thing. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. I'm one of those people who certainly do not charge a mozza for a massage or anything like that. I obviously undervalue myself a lot, but you know, because like you say, there's a lot of people who rip people off constantly, and you think the clients come to me because I'm value for my. Not only do they get a massage, they'll get a reading, they get the healing, they get, you know, you name it, they've got it, and it is, and I'll relate to the, you know, the as I said, you know, when I see dead people, and yeah, it's.
So they're telling me there's also another healing modality. There's something else. There's another healing modality coming in that's going to be coming into your awareness.
And it's like, and that's what I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking, I mean, I've always been colours, numbers, everything, and I'm so thinking it might be around the colour therapy. I did that many years ago, but a colour therapy that's not done in this, not with Orosoma or anything like that. It was actually a very different type of colour therapy that I did many years ago when I was doing all my psychic training and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I feel, that's why I'm feeling there's something there, and I just can't grasp it. It's like,
light therapy, coloured lights.
Yeah, this one was actually, I got people to draw pictures, and the colours that they actually used and what they drew, you could tell everything from that, you know, whether it was an abstract picture or anything, the healing that would happen from that was incredible.
So that's a way of reading them rather than a therapy, but I'm talking about looking into light therapies.
Light therapy, okay.
Using colours, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, so maybe the Orosoma is something that I could be looking at, yeah.
Yes, all of those tricks. I mean, you realise, like me, when you've been in business for a long, long time, that, you know, I do psychotherapy and counselling, but I can't tell you how many different things I've learned over the years, and they just all go in, and then you end up with your own way of doing things, you know, like, and that's the way it works. And that's the way it's going to work for you too, as far as all of the healing that you're doing, so that you'll just intuitively be led to do the right thing at the right time. You're already doing that anyway, they're telling me.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No worries. Who's next?
Okay, so next is Linda.
The other Linda.
The other Linda.
Linda with a Y.
Linda with a Y. Hi, Linda. What can I do for you tonight?
Hi, Reea. Thank you again for having us tonight.
You're welcome.
I'm still comprehending that I'm still talking to you. I've been wanting to see you for so long for healing. And I first found you from, I read Destiny of Souls and Journey of Souls.
Oh, right, okay.
I love those books, and I've encouraged my children that one day, you know, go for it, because it's such an eye-opener. And I embrace all of what I've read with that. And when I found you, it was like I was guided to find you. So I'm glad you're there. I'm just in Newcastle, so not too far away, so hopefully I'll get to have a one-on-one in the future.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'm not actually doing past life regression therapy at the moment. I'm just having a bit of a break from it, because, you know, with COVID and everything, when you do past life regression, it can take up to 5 hours. I usually say to people, you know, put aside 5 hours, because sometimes it does. I always get everybody there. Everybody always has an amazing experience, but, you know, it's really intense. And, you know, I'm kind of leaning over people for 5 hours, talking quietly in their ear as they're talking quietly to me. And, you know, it's not social distancing at all. No. So that's why I'm not doing it at the moment. So we'll have to see how things are going with Corona. I am having clients at the house for counselling and readings, but, you know, we sit distant from each other, and you know, we're still doing the social distancing thing. So
well, I look forward to the future of meeting you and having a past life regression. And I need lots of healing. I've got a lot of medical issues and life issues.
So you know the root cause of all of your medical issues are your emotions.
Yeah. And I'm wanting to have some more operations and whatnot.
So we have something that goes on, you know, there's something in our emotional life that we're not dealing with. And again, illness can be another, you know, your soul behind you pushing you. That's the illness is the catalyst that causes you to look at yourself. You know, one of my very best girlfriends has had stage 4 cancer for 5 years now. She's still going strong, still running a business, doing really well. And she's, you know, I've worked with her on and off over the years a lot, and she'll tell you that. Actually, I interviewed her. The video of me interviewing Jay is on my YouTube channel. She's an amazing woman. But, you know, it's the journey of getting well is the journey of evolution of your consciousness. You know, you just got to keep digging deep and, you know, digging into all of that stuff that's in there and continually transforming yourself. And, you know, she's not going to probably survive cancer. She'll probably end up dying of cancer. We all end up dying of something, but she's, you know, transformed herself along the way. So that's everyone's journey that is sick.
Yeah. Okay, because I have had a lot of past trauma from childhood onwards, and I've read everything on your site, so, and I can relate to things that majority of what I've read. I'm like, that sounds just like me. So I know you get it.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it, darling. I do. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I try to, and I've always wanted to have open myself up more with. I've seen floating orbs. I've had I've been touched physically. I've felt like pressure, like on my leg. I can tell it's some sort of. It's not myself. It's something else, other energy that's touched me. So
a discarnate being or an entity of some sort has touched your leg, and you've been able to feel it physically. Yep. Yeah,
I've tried to comprehend those moments, and I've seen spirit. A couple of times in the past, but I haven't for a while, ever since becoming more ill, like with the arthritis stuff and autoimmune stuff. I just feel like I've shut myself off too much.
Well, illness does lower your vibration, as does any negative emotion. And, you know, you're obviously holding on to a lot of negative emotion. So that will lower your vibration. And so in order to connect with our guides or our higher self, what we want to do is raise our vibration. So that means being in joy and happiness and peace in as much of the day as we possibly can. And when you're in pain and you're not well, that's really bloody hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'm trying to grasp onto all the good things, the positive, and I'll never give up. I keep telling
you. Well, that's what it's all about, sweetie.
They're part of my, well, they're mainly my big light. Is the kids. They kept me going forward.
Beautiful. That's what it's all about. It's all about not giving up and keep going back to that point of power and that positivity and, you know, uplifting yourself. You just keep going. You don't know how you wake up every day and you keep going, but you just do.
You do, yeah, one foot in front of the other. Right. And I've always been very inquisitive about the Fae realm, or am I like fairies and whatnot? I don't know if this sounds silly.
No, it's not silly at all. Not silly at all.
I've always loved fairies. They're just
in another. They're in another dimension. So they're not actually in third dimension. They're in another dimension. But you know, if you look in some of those orb photos, you mentioned orbs before. There's fairies inside the orbs, and you can very clearly see them in a good photograph.
That's what
I totally believe in it.
Yeah, and I've actually seen in naked eye, my son and myself were, because I love plants, but I'm not a very good green thumb. And between two of the plants, and I've always respected the energy of plants. And we both saw an orb with our naked eye float between the two plants, but we both saw different colours. My son saw more of a white colour, whereas I saw more of a red-orange vibe to the colour to the orb, and I've never been able to understand what did we really see. We both saw different colours, but we both saw the same thing. And it was at night time. We were both in the lounge room just watching TV, and all of a sudden this visual this orb.
Well, that's a really interesting question, and I'd like to just go there for a minute. Remember, we're creating our own reality. So your reality and my reality are not the same thing. We're each an empowered, amazing being and living in a hologram of our own making. So it's our own Hollywood blockbuster, and we're writing the script and we're writing in all the roles of everybody. So reality doesn't exist in and of itself, which is why you can have an accident, have 6 people witness it, and you'll get 6 different stories. There is no such thing as reality. So there's your reality and there's your son's reality.
Yeah.
And so from your own perception, you both had different perceptions, And so from each of your perceptions, you saw different colours because that's what you needed to see at that time. That colour meant something to your unconscious.
Right.
So that was kind of like a communication or a message of some sort. Again, about the colour. So that's, you know, Linda's thing. She knows all about the colours and what they mean. But, you know, relate it to your chakras. So orange, yellow is your sacral chakra, your solar plexus chakra. And what was the other colour? Purple?
Was just white, a bright white. My son saw.
Oh, right, okay. So that's a higher vibration. It's usually crown chakra, you know.
So because we both turned around, because he was a lot younger then. He would have only been about, say, 8, if that. No, probably about 6. We both just turned around. Did you see that? We were both like shocked because we weren't expecting to see an orb just floating around.
How cool is that?
It was magical.
Yeah.
It's truly magical, and I feel
very
like
cool.
You feel like you've got a connection as you're talking to, was it Karen, about the Wi-Fi, like your.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think you feel that, like, I just have that sense of belonging to.
Well, it's like seeing the numbers. You know, when you see 1111, my special number is 444. You see people see 222, 333. It's a hello. It's kind of like a wink from spirit, like, hi, we're here. Hello. Are you getting this? So they use any way they can to catch our attention, just to give us a bit of a thrill and, you know, connect with us. And so, you know, there's an aspect of that. Remember, things never happen for one reason. Everything's overdetermined. So, you know, there's always more than one reason. So it's something that you and your son shared together. You know, you were able to validate that for him. So he knew he was seeing something was quite real because you saw it too.
Yeah.
And then there's a special message for each of you in the colour. So, you know, there's lots of different levels to the meaning of everything that happens.
Yeah. And I'm a bit of an artist. I like to sculpt and paint. But because I've been so unwell these days, I've got a whole little studio set up and I haven't been able to do it. And I just want to transform the feelings I get into my artwork. So I'm moving. I'm not giving up on doing that either. So I'll get back to it sooner than later. I'm hoping.
Lovely. Fantastic. I'm just conscious of the time, and I don't think Shannon's asked a question yet. So did you have anything else you wanted to ask?
I got so excited.
That's okay. That's all good.
And I recently did lose someone really important to me, and I did get that comfort knowing that with reading Destiny of Souls and Journey of Souls, that I had that feeling and visual in my mind of that she's probably kicking her heels up.
Yeah, that's right. I like to think of them in Europe. They're in Paris or somewhere. I'm never going to see them again because they're across the other side of the world, but they're having a hell of a time.
Yep. Yeah.
It was lovely meeting you. Thank you.
You too, Reea. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, Shannon, have you got a question?
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for all of you for sharing your stories. It's been amazing listening to everyone. I didn't really have a question, but I did write something down. But I was, I guess, hoping for some guidance on some relationships that I have with, I guess, my little boy and the other side of the family, because his father is not involved at all, but his grandparents are, and I'm just kind of, I guess, looking for some guidance on that kind of relationship. I mean,
your relationship with your son?
No, with his grandparents. So my in-laws, really.
Yeah, okay. So I need to actually do that for you in person, darling. I need you to book a reading to do that and bring the photos so they can have a look and I can tune into them for you, and then I can suss out what's going on. You know, I do that when I'm doing a reading. As you know, I look at the photos and that helps me connect with their energy, and then I can tell the karma and the past life connections and, you know, the deeper meaning of what's going on that way. So happy to do a reading for you one day.
I've got an appointment booked in next week.
Have
counselling.
You?
Yeah,
okay.
Counselling appointment though. So,
yeah, okay. So ask me when you come for counselling. I don't mind doing a reading while you're having your counselling.
Okay. Yeah.
Answering that question for you.
I've got a few of the counselling issues that we'll sort out first. But but yeah, I mean, I guess, well, relationships in general, I don't know if there's anything that we can, or that you'd like to talk about with that.
Look, I think that, you know, the relationship thing is really hard. Everybody's struggling on the planet right now, and relationships are in crisis right now. And so, you know, it's really important that we don't focus on that too much. We don't focus on how well our relationships are going, or whether we have one or not. It's good to take the focus off that right now, because I was told years ago that this was going to happen. When the shift in consciousness began in real time, like now, we were told that everyone was going to go crazy, everyone was going to go batshit crazy. And I don't know about you guys, but I can see that happening all around me. Everybody's shadows are coming out, everybody's demons are coming out, everybody's mental illnesses are coming out, their addictions are coming out. So it's really a very destabilized time on the planet because of everything that is going on. So it's best that we don't focus too much of our attention on what's not working again. You know, now's not the right time to go, oh my God, I haven't got a relationship, I want a relationship, or I'm not getting on with that person, you know, what am I going to do about it? Certainly, you know, if there's crisis, then obviously, you know, you're coming for counselling next week, we can talk about that in more detail. But the only advice coming through today is to just be very careful to monitor your words, be careful what you say and the tone and the vibration of what you say, because that's going to be really important in the coming months. So don't speak without thinking, like really carefully edit everything you're saying. And don't think that it's you holding things in and not expressing yourself or not speaking your truth, because sometimes that's not the right thing to do. Does that help? Shannon's muted. I can't hear her.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, that does help. Thank you. Sorry,
Thank you.
the tiny human was screaming.
Oh, yeah, the tiny human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So what I wanted to do tonight, just to wrap up, was that I wanted to just focus for a moment on healing. And all of you could do with a little bit of Goddess Maat's healing energy. So I want to be able to offer that to you all individually, but just also silently sort of focusing on giving that energy back to Australia. Let's focus on us. You know, things are going wrong over here now, and we really need to make sure that we're adding our positive energy to what's happening, not our negative energy, as Goddess Maat was saying before. So let's just do a little healing. And we're just going to close our eyes for a minute. So everybody just close your eyes. If you're used to healing, and I know that Linda is, but some of the others may be aware of this, but all you need to do when you're going to send a healing to anyone is just close your eyes, take a couple of nice cleansing breaths. Just focus and ground your energy down into your heart chakra. I think it always helps to think of someone that you love when you go to the heart chakra, especially a little person or an animal. They're always clear versions of love. So just think about that. Just imagine your crown chakra opening up like a beautiful big lotus flower. As you breathe in, just pull the energy down into your crown chakra. Just pull the energy down into your body and ground yourself down into the earth. So shoot that beautiful white, golden, gorgeous, glittery energy down through your root base chakra, down into the earth, as far down deep as you can go. That's grounding you. Just like electricity, we need to be grounded in order to do this work properly. So with every breath, just pulling the light down through and grounding down into the ground. And then just feel your hands and your heart. Just take your awareness to your hands and your heart. And just imagine sending loving energy out through your hands, through your heart, whatever works for you. Feel the energy flowing out. And just let it find everybody who needs it today. Yourself. Anybody in the group who particularly needs healing energy, just feel that energy coming in your direction. Always holding your energy in great gratitude and thanks. And let's just call on God, Goddess, all that is. Call on our higher selves. and all of the guides, masters and goddesses and gods around us right now, all the ascended masters, all our loved ones in spirit. And we ask for healing today for the planet, for Australia, for ourselves and all of our loved ones. And in your mind's eye, just see that beautiful golden white energy flowing out of your heart and your hands towards anyone that you think of in particular that you'd like to send that energy to tonight. Just let it flow. There's nothing more powerful than a woman's circle, which is why I called this the guidance circle. A group of women together, sending loving, healing energy out through their heart chakra. There's nothing more powerful than that. You're all very powerful goddesses. Make sure you focus on some of that healing energy for yourself. Directing that healing energy anywhere in the body that feels the discomfort or the disease. Just imagine the light penetrating that area of the body. And just asking for healing. Goddess Maat's coming through now, just sending her beautiful healing goddess energies to all of you, to all of the planet. Just let that energy keep flowing in through the top of your head, down through your body, out of your heart and your hands. We are all one. You're all part of the goddess, an aspect of the goddess. You're the goddess incarnate on earth. You can heal yourself and send your beautiful healing energy to anyone you choose. It's powerful, loving, filled with compassion, kindness, and light. Let's just give thanks, gratitude, putting your hands together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord Goddess, all that is. Thank you for this beautiful experience, this feeling of community today. It's been lovely. Thank you, everyone. That was beautiful.